Okay, well, this is homework number 1. Hopefully you've already checked the calendar that I put up on Blackboard. I changed homework number 1's due date since the rest of this last week, or week 1, was canceled, to 8/31. So homework number 1 is due on 8/31. Homework 2 and 3 are both going to be due on 9/1. Okay? So I just wanted to toss that out there. If you haven't had a chance, please go and double check the new calendar or the revised calendar that I have up with all of the other new dates. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Homework number 1's super easy cheesy, right? Hopefully you've already turned it in, so that way you got a grade and you're not going to get a 0 for it. Some of the homeworks, I know unit 1 and 2 are pretty easy, but we'll eventually get into other new challenging chemistry eventually. Okay, so let's just get through the first couple of units that are pretty easy. First thing here, you may not have it in the same order as I do, but I have down here, as it says, circle 8 things that you find in the cartoon here that are considered to be breaking a safety rule. Number them 1 through 8 when you circle them up here, and go ahead and describe them, what they're doing incorrectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and start right here. That's my number 1. Your number 1 may be somewhere else, but for me, number 1 is going to be clean up lab area when done. Okay, clean up that lab area. Don't make a mess. Don't leave a mess. We do have spills sometimes that occurs. Pick up after yourself, okay? Most of the time, the materials that we do use and chemicals, they're not very harmful. So majority of the time, we can just clean them up and just toss it down in the paper down in the trash can, and would be perfectly fine, okay? Next thing, number 2, for me, I have my number 2 over here, and number 2 is, for me, no horse playing. Right? No using meter sticks as swords. No throwing chemicals or putting chemicals on other people. No throwing around the lab equipment. Okay. Next one, number 3. For me, number 3, I have it over here. This, completely unokay. Not okay. Number 3, no food or drinks in lab. If we do get a chance to go back to the classroom, our classroom is over in the science building. We do our lectures there in the science chemistry lab, and we also do our labs there as well. So it's not like if we're doing lecture in the Tech Vogue building, we're in the chemistry lab. So no food, no drinks at all. You never know what was on that tabletop before you sat down. Next one, number 4. I have my number 4 over here. For me, number 4 is dispose of chemicals or equipment properly. Again, if we do get to go back to the lab, there are some labs that we do where you only dispose that chemical in a certain location. You're not going to pour it down the sink. There might be some pipettes that we use. You don't even throw in the trash can because of the chemicals that were still in it. You put it at a particular location that I ask you to put them in. All right? Some things can go in the trash, some cannot. Next one, for me, number 5. I have number 5 right here. So for me, number 5 is going to be keep hair tied back. Now they have an example here of fire, but the same thing when it comes to liquids. You need to keep your hair tied back because you don't need your hair falling into liquids, any kind of chemicals at all. So just keep your hair tied back. The next one, number 6. I have number 6 right here. For me, number 6 is tell the teacher immediately if injured. Right? Something happens, whether it's you or whether it's your lab partner or somebody at the next table next to you, you go ahead and let me know. Even if you think, oh, they just barely cut their finger with the scissors or something really simple like that, you never know. What about the chemicals that we're working with? Or what about the chemicals that were on that lab table prior to going to the classroom? Okay, so please make sure you let us know, let me know what's going on. The next one, for me, number 7. I have number 7 over here. I hate this one. This number 7 aggravates me. 7 is to keep lab area cluttered free. If we do get to go back to the classroom, I make sure that everybody knows to keep all of their backpacks, purses, and everything else at their desk area where we were working at, not to where we go over to the lab stations. All right? I do not want backpacks or purses or anything like that in the area that can cause somebody to trip or fall. And it's not just floors. You can have your desk area that you're doing your lab and you go to get something and knock everything over. Okay? Last one for me is number 8. Never put chemicals or equipment in mouth. Right? Not just the chemicals, the equipment too. You do not know where that. Sometimes I use spoons. You don't know if that spoon has been used for something else. Don't drink out of beakers, even if it just is labeled as water. You do not know. So please make sure your name is at the top of your homework. Right? If you didn't this time, then make sure you do it every single time. And you've already done this. You probably found more than 8, or you might have found something different than what I did over here, right? I just found 8 things. Alrighty. So other than that, make sure you get to homework number 2 and 3 both done as well. They have a new due date. And one more time, homework 2 and 3 are due September the 1st, okay? Alrighty. See you later.